How you doing, Kyla?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Of
Uh,
course.
um, top seniors and all the other stuff that goes in with that. Um,
Mhm.
First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's always an honor to meet the top senior of the year. And I don't know how much you actually know about top seniors, but it's been around since 1975. And so this is the 51st class of high
Wow.
school seniors to be honored by the Post and the Charlotte Post Foundation. So it has its own legacy. And the first class was 10 students back in 1975. Charlotte Mecklenburg has had 10 high schools. And so
Mhm.
one student from each school made
Oh,
up
that's
the
cool.
class of top seniors. And obviously it's grown over the years and you're part of that growth. So there you go. Just throwing that out there for
Oh,
your
thank you. Yes.
history. Um, but moving up to 2025,
Mhm.
uh, a lot has happened over the years, and a lot has happened for you to get to be where you are.
Mhm.
Looking over some details about you, and you've got all this stuff that's going on. 4.78 grade point average, student body
Yeah.
president, you're founding, you're the founder of clubs, you're the president of the student body, you're a cheerleader. How in the world are you doing all this stuff?
I truly just have to balance my like social and work life and keep a planner. That's like the biggest thing because a lot of times things like, overlap. So I just have to make sure my calendar is always updated and then have like a strong support system around me. And it sounds a lot, but I make it happen.
That's abundantly clear, but I'm still trying to figure out how. Is that just something where you have your own personal calendar that you keep, or do you have somebody helping out on the back end marking
No,
stuff
I have
off?
like a personal, but then sometimes I like share it so that like my mom and other people can see to make sure so that can be my games and everything. But yeah, it's a lot though, but somehow I did it past 4 years.
Mm, that is that's some amazing stuff. I've seen plenty of average students who couldn't handle all that. So I'm like, okay, right, yeah, there must be some secret sauce going on here. So what is the secret sauce? Is it just you're super organized, or
Well,
you?
actually, yeah, I have my sister was actually the top senior in 2022, I believe. So she honestly like set like a path for me and is like a big like mentor. So I feel like I wouldn't have been like in this space and like done all the things without her. So I feel like that was like my little secret sauce because she's helped me a lot. And she kind of guided me to know like what classes to take because I knew I wanted to have a high GPA and everything. But like you have to really start off from freshman year. Like I've been taking college level classes since I was in ninth grade. So she helped me with that. And then also I connected with a lot of like administration at my school to help me found like a club and then get involved in student government. And so I feel like it was just like my support system and also my drive that I've had like throughout all these few years.
So you mentioned your sister. Tell me a
Hmm.
little bit about that. Obviously, she's got a few years on you in terms of age,
Yeah.
but in terms of the the mentorship, because it sounds like she mentored you in many
Yeah.
uh, in terms of that bond between siblings. Was that something where she was like, "Well, if you want to do something like this is how you do it," or did you pester her? Hey, I'd like to be able to do some of that. Can you turn me on to how to do it?
Yeah, I feel like it was the first a little bit, but I feel like we've always been like very smart and overachieving, but like it's like a little bit of healthy competition. So like when I saw her when I was in middle school and saw her like doing a lot of stuff in high school, I was like, okay, I have to come in and do even better, you know, and make like our name stick. So I feel like it was like, okay, and she always wanted me to do great. Like even now, we're actually going, she goes to A&T now. and I just got a scholarship to go there. So she's already like opened my eyes to different SGA positions and even like engineering programs that I can do so that I like still stay successful just past my high school career.
Hmm. So you're going to A&T next in the
Yes.
fall? Okay.
Mhm.
What do you plan to major in?
So I'm actually a Cheatham White scholar, so I'll be majoring in chemical engineering with a minor in entrepreneurship.
Okay. So the Cheetah White, that's like the scholarship to have at A&T.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, I'm very blessed.
so congratulations on that too.
Thank you.
What did your sister say when you told her you were going to follow in her footsteps and be an Aggie too?
Well, actually, I was debating between Howard and A&T for like a long time, and it was this big debate because she wanted me to go to A&T forever. So she was doing everything to convince me to go to A&T, and then I wanted to do engineering, so she kind of opened up my eyes to like the opportunities that the engineering program at A&T has. And then I did more research and I was like, okay, I want to get into a lot of internships and research opportunities on campus. So then I was like, okay, A&T's the better fit and cost-wise. Even before the scholarship, I was like, I don't want to be paying student loans forever. So she was really, really excited when I paid my enrollment deposit. And then I actually got a phone call for my scholarship, and I was on the phone with her, which is the crazy thing. And Miss Woman, one of like her mentors, called me and told me I received the scholarship. So we were both just really excited about it.
Well, and I'm sure your parents are really happy too.
Yeah.
Or that bill.
Yes.
So at Mallard Creek, we touched on it a little bit earlier in terms of
Mhm.
all the activities that you're involved in
Yes.
and the grade point average. Which has posed a bigger challenge, keeping the schedule of all the things that you're involved with, or the academic side, and hanging on to a 4.78 while you're doing all this other stuff, which is more challenging.
I would say it depends on the year. So I'm in my senior year, of course, but I only have two classes each day. So I get out around 10:30. So I feel like for this year, my academics haven't been as much. But last year, my junior year, I was taking like maybe 12 college classes a semester. So like so many different credits. So the academics are really tough. And also, I had to balance because I just started student government, really getting into in a high position last year. So I feel like my junior year was the biggest balance, but it really taught me the importance of like keeping everything organized, having to keep a calendar because there was times I was like, oh wait. I did this and I would forget, oh, I actually have an assignment due, I would miss it. And, that would mess me up a little bit with my grades. So I feel like junior was the hardest academic wise, but this year I'm just working on more enjoying my last few months of high school, like with my friends, but also putting a lot of effort into student government as like I want to leave my legacy here as I'm about to graduate and kind of pass my baton to the next person.
So then you have all of that that's going on, and you are starting your own organizations. And I
Yeah.
saw that with Big Big Math, Lil Math, and
Yes, we
talk
started
to me a
that.
little bit about that, and because it sounds like it's a mentoring program.
Mhm. So with student government, this is like our kind of second year having like an actual student government association at Mallard Creek. So it was executive class council and then that went away. So we shifted it into a student government. And it's really helpful just because many colleges kind of have like a student government and we follow the structure of many big colleges, especially like the HBCUs. So this year, we want to kind of do more and kind of not just have like school-wide events to help, students get like a break from class and have more social fun, but we want to kind of give back to kids, especially our underclassmen. So we started Big Math, Little Math, and that way we just are able to connect with them. Mainly, especially for me, I cheer and I would always have a lot of like the younger girls trying to talk to me to get advice about, oh, how can I have a high GPA? How can I get this stuff done? So through this program, I have my own mentor or mentee, and she's actually like the same as me, but freshman. Like she's top her class, doing her thing, her freshman class president. So it's just like a great way to be able to guide somebody, just like my sister was able to guide me. And it's a way to connect with other younger people. And it's not really like all serious, but like sometimes we have like a game day, we'll watch a movie together, like we just do fun things and kind of have this like big brother, little sister type of connection.
Hmm. Talk to me a little bit about the movement that you navigate through a typical day. Maybe not typical this year because, like you said, it's a little bit on the not so
Yeah.
heavy side. But in terms of your typical day for most of your time at Mallard Creek, what does that look like in terms of the hours that are dedicated to it?
Yeah.
Not just the school day, but the whole day.
So, I ended my cheer season around the end of February. So most of the year I've been cheering since my sophomore year. So of course, school starts around 7 and my first class of the day for the past 2 years have been AP Biology and AP Physics. So I'm bright up and early doing like science in the morning. And then I go throughout my day. I usually kind of end around 12:30-ish. 10:30 this year, but sometimes I stay after school to help out with things. And then I do live close to school. So I'll go home, take a little power nap or get some work done. And then I would usually go back to school around 2:15. And from 2:15 to like 3 or 3:30, I would either have a club meeting or when I was in cheer, which was most of the year, I would do weight training or just be with my coaches and teammates. And then when I was in cheer, I mostly have cheer practice till around like 4:35. And then after that, I would come home, try and spend some family time with my mom, my dog, and my dad. And then I would do work, study for about 3 or 4 hours. And then I feel like a big part of my like kind of success in high school has also been maintaining my spirituality. So I make sure to try and journal. I read my Bible a lot, like spend time just with myself each day before I go to bed, and that's really helpful. And then I kind of wind down, and that's really it for a day.
And by the time you close your eyes, it's what on the clock?
I actually like to be in the bed kind of early for my age. So I like 10-ish.
Yeah, that's pretty early. That's early even for my age. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Uh, you mentioned spirituality and me time, where you're talking about spending time with the dog and the parents and
Yes.
like that. Is that something that you find it works for you, but do you see in your peers maybe there's more of that, or is there less of it to take that time to recalibrate and do something other than the usual?
Yeah. I feel like I'm a big advocate personally for mental health, especially among student athletes or just overachievers, because that's most of my peers. But I feel like our generation has really been doing a good job of like keeping up with our mental health and establishing like a strong relationship with God. I even go to church with my friends a lot. Like I go to a separate church from my mom and family, but I find that that's like a really beautiful thing about my friends. But I think that it's very important, all of us, like we have to maintain a strong sense of personal time. So I like to recommend even to my friends, I think journaling is like a great thing because when you're going through a long day around people, like you can't really always be like your authentic self or get all your thoughts out. So I like to just kind of write that down. And then like a lot of my friends, we also do kind of like group Bible studies sometimes together. So we love to like read our Bible and just kind of talk about that among each other.
Hmm. And when you talk about this particular thing with journaling,
Hmm.
you're part of that generation of students who are coming off the full-blown effects of COVID, uh,
Yeah,
lockdowns and losing that education connectivity, uh,
yeah,
2020 to 20, probably 22. So you, throughout high school, basically, you're coming off of that. Talk a little bit about how that pandemic influenced where you are today. Did it impact you in a negative way, or did you have to find some workarounds to keep connected academically and socially?
I think it was a very, well, I was in seventh grade, so I was like 13 when we first went to lockdown. Me and my mom were literally just talking about this today, but I personally feel like COVID impacted me positively and negatively, just because the motivation like I had before COVID, like I would be making perfect grades in middle school, but like, it was a little bit harder when you had a Zoom link and then, we all took school seriously, but it was like different, in COVID. So I feel like I kind of had to find that motivation back again when I went to school. And I think socially, I used to dance. So I had an outlet where I would see people. So I think I didn't really struggle socially ever, but I do see like a change in generations. I feel like COVID kind of affected everyone. And that's kind of one of my like main reasons I kind of do a lot of community service and work throughout our school just because like COVID took really critical and core years from a lot of us. But I think that I could see like both like a positive and negative change for me personally.
Talk to me a little bit about the future. So we have an idea of where you're going to college. Uh,
Hmm.
Talk to me about what you plan to major in and ultimately what your career plans are, knowing that at this stage in life, at 18, everything is on the table, even if you don't see it necessarily.
Yeah.
Stuff changes fast.
So my whole thing with chemical engineering was actually an idea from my sister because I really didn't know what I wanted to do for like a really long time. And then I had came to Mallard Creek and got exposed to the engineering program and I really liked it. With engineering, I love the versatility that the whole field offers. Like you can be in the lab, you can be like working in a field, you can be working with oil, like in the middle of the ocean. Like there's so many different fields. So that's why it interested me. So I also love beauty. I love makeup. I love hair, skincare, everything. So my like whole thing is I want to create my own makeup brand that caters to everyone because right now when you look at the cosmetic industry, many makeup brands aren't meant for our type of skin. So that's why I was kind of motivated to make a change. And also with chemical engineering, it's only about 2 to 3% of the field that are made up of Black women. So I wanted to go into a space where like I'm not the prominent type of person. So I kind of just want like to make like a change in that. And I know most of my classes wouldn't be with people that look like me. And that kind of motivated me because like I want to show other people that are coming behind, like you can do anything you want. If you want to go into a field that only there's 10 Black women in, like you can go into it and excel. So with A&T, I really want to get into a lot of different research opportunities. I love chemistry. I love the STEM field. I love engineering. And also, with my minor, I'm minoring in business and entrepreneurship. So I also want to get into that. Of course, I want to have my own brand, but I do love business and I love with like our new generation, we have social media. Like people blow up overnight and like have their own brands and become millionaires. So I hope that that's what can happen to me. But ultimately, I want to be able to give back to my community with however my future goes to. So I want to establish like a nonprofit still continue to work on community service, but just make like a difference in my community and for somebody else.
Mhm. So entrepreneur, engineer.
Yes.
So are you at home with your own experiments, working on this stuff, trying to get ready for
Yeah.
to come down the road?
Yeah, I've been doing like a lot of research and mainly kind of looking at the business aspect because I'm not gonna, well, I actually am thinking about double majoring right now because I have like a lot of kind of college credits already. So I kind of want to double major, but I'm kind of looking into like how people start a business, what can you do, what areas, because also um I kind of want to start a little bit in pharmaceuticals and work with medicine a little bit in my early years of my career. So I've been looking into where I can, relocate and everything.
Hmm. That sounds like a really good plan. So with the
Thank you.
so with the college credits that you've already compiled, I'm guessing you don't even have to do the 4 years at A&T, right? So you're what,
Yeah.
2, 3 years?
Yeah, I'm actually getting my associate's degree next in May. So that'll take off some time, but I do like want to make the most of like I still want to stay there for 4 years just because I got a scholarship. So, I want to make the most of that, which is why I'm thinking about double majoring or just like trying to get as much education as I can in the 4 years.
Hmm. Well, sounds like really good stuff there. Or you can work on that master's or PhD
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I actually do. I want to eventually achieve my PhD, but I think I want to go right into my master's because I think it'll be like a 1 year program for me personally. And then I might kind of take a break because that's a lot of school to go straight into your PhD, but I hope to achieve and have like doctor next to my name one day.
Yeah. Well, with your skills, with just making sure that stuff goes together and fits,
Yeah.
why not? You could probably do that you know, with the tools that you already have in place, um, in terms of balancing school, social life,
hmm
or else that entrepreneurial itch, why not?